Some say the wolves of Wall Street are circling America's cities. They convince city leaders to use bonds to borrow what looks like easy money for projects, but the cities can end up in such deep debt they go bankrupt. Some of those cities claim they're the victims and blame the Wall Street middlemen who make money on the whole deal. Chris Papst of our affiliate WJLA has our story.
So you believe Wall Street took advantage of the city?
I think there's no question that Wall Street took advantage of the city.
Eric Pappenfuss is the current mayor of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. In 2011, he watched his city become the first and still only state capital in American history to file for bankruptcy.
Nobody wanted to stop the gravy train because everybody was profiting on the borrowings.
Harrisburg's problems began with, of all things, a broken down incinerator. In 2003, longtime Mayor Stephen Reed decided to borrow money to fix it by issuing bonds. One way a city can borrow money is by selling bonds. So-called muni bonds are tax-free and attractive to many investors. Just like a mortgage, the city promises to pay the money back on a certain date with interest. But Harrisburg's incinerators burned far more money than trash, as the city borrowed and just kept borrowing. In 8 years, the incinerator racked up nearly $400 million in debt, 8 times the city's annual budget of $50 million. In 2011, Harrisburg went belly up. Mark Schwartz is a former bond attorney who represented Harrisburg during its bankruptcy.
Wall Street's more liable than Harrisburg. One, that mayor didn't put a gun to anybody's head.
Wall Street banks make a lot of money on commissions when brokering deals between cities and investors. Between 2003 and 2007, the Harrisburg incinerator paid out $16 million in fees, with a big chunk of that going to Wall Street bankers, lawyers, and consultants. For them, Harrisburg was a cash cow, even as it was going bankrupt.
The motivation is you make a lot of money as an underwriter. I was in municipal bond business first as a bond lawyer and then second as an underwriter. You don't get paid to not do deals.
The art of the deal was illustrated in a biographical film, The Wolf of Wall Street, where unscrupulous Wall Street brokers got filthy rich off the backs of investors.
Name of the game, move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket. But if you can make your client's money at the same time, it's advantageous to everyone, correct? No.
My clients were part-time councilmen, full-time grandmothers. So what kind of financial sophistication is there? They're lucky if they can understand how their home mortgage works, let alone the intricacies of the bond stuff.
And to make matters worse, bonds issued by cities are not subject to strict federal oversight, making the industry, according to Schwartz, largely self-policed.
So Wall Street gets to keep its millions and the people of Harrisburg have a broke city?
Yeah, absolutely. Same as Detroit, same as Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico rang in the new year by defaulting on its debt payments. The U.S. territory is struggling with more than $72 billion in debt, largely in the form of municipal bonds. Jefferson County, Alabama also built up over $4 billion in debt to cover sewer repairs and declared bankruptcy in 2011. And the city of Detroit shattered all records with its $18 billion bankruptcy in 2013, the largest in U.S. municipal history.
Do you believe the people of Harrisburg were victimized by Wall Street?
I do.
So now Harrisburg is looking for accountability. Former Mayor Stephen Reed was recently indicted by a state grand jury on 499 counts of corruption. He allegedly diverted public funds, something he denies.
Was anything you did criminal?
Not that I know of.
The state is also pursuing criminal and civil investigations into the firms that made money on the bond deals. Charges have yet to be filed, but Mayor Pappenfuss believes they are coming, and Harrisburg may just be the beginning. Paul Burton is a financial reporter who covers the municipal bond market.
For years, the muni bond industry was a very sleepy operation. And now, thanks to the Harrisburg case, you see a little bit of a groundswell of pushback that you didn't see before.
Pushback against Wall Street?
Yes, exactly.
For loaning these bonds that bankrupt the cities?
Yes, and they're looking at deals that didn't seem so kosher. They're worried, they're concerned, they're paying attention. I think it's a day of reckoning for Wall Street.
So, Chris, is the state doing anything about it?
Well, the state is pursuing civil and criminal investigations into the firms that loaned the money, specifically how those bonds were structured and also what advice they gave the city when the city was trying to lend this debt. And of course, we did reach out to many of the firms, the largest firms involved in Harrisburg's bankruptcy, but citing potential litigation, they wouldn't comment to us, and that includes the big ones: Royal Bank of Canada, Assured Guarantee, and Public Financial Management.
Fascinating story. Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Chris Papst. Ahead on Full Measure, when authorities arrested the infamous escaped Mexican cartel leader El Chapo, they made a disturbing discovery. We'll tell you what they found.